He's just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to another episode of the Believe in FCS Football podcast. I'm Joe DeLeone, joined by my former teammate, former roommate from the University of Rhode Island, Mr. Sean Anderson. Sean, we've got our preview episode. We've got first full slate of week one games, which some consider to be the real slate of week one games. I was content watching what we got to watch last weekend, but we now get exposure to the top programs in the country. We've got some FCS, FBS matchups that are going to be super, super fun. We're diving in the two games that we're highlighting this week in particular for you folks to look forward to. Southern Illinois at Incarnate Word, and then URI playing Stony Brook. Sean, how are we doing today?
You know, it's a rare occurrence, but I'm going to pat myself on the back today for getting the doc set up and getting what we needed done.
Yeah, I wasn't going to patronize you and say, wow, it was a rare occurrence that Sean set up the doc. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be nice and not condescending, but
hey,
I mean, you did it to yourself.
I'll acknowledge it.
You set up the whole doc on your own. I didn't have to do anything. I've never seen
that language that you're using right there. That is, you said I'm not going to patronize, and you just patronize it all on your own. That language right there, argumentative.
For the amount of times that I have showed up to record and had to do the whole doc, and you just stepped in, no notes, no prep, that has angered me. I'm the talent. I'm very happy. No, you're not the talent. No, you're not the talent. Because if you were,
talent needs to put on a hat.
Why? What's wrong with your hair?
My hair is awful.
Johnny Bravo looking head ass with the
exactly. Nobody likes Johnny Bravo hair.
I didn't know you could hear me. I'm distracted now. We have games to talk about. Sean, are you excited? Are you going to watch the games this weekend? Are you excited?
I need to watch the games this weekend. I gotta be plugged in, man.
You gotta be plugged in. Do you need the viewer's guide on what you should be watching for the FBS games? Do you need me to give you the rundown?
I know. I'm familiar with the important games. I did a lot of prep.
I'm excited. I want you to get into FBS content.
I'm excited. I'm taking Ohio State covering 17.5.
There's like no odds for that. Why would you take? What were the odds on that bet? What were the odds on that bet?
To cover 17.5?
Yeah. The odds are probably terrible.
Well, you can find the odds at betonline.ag.
You're a piece of garbage.
If you're with me and you think that Ohio State is going to give the big old spankaroonie do to Notre Dame this weekend, BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events. With first-to-market odds and lines, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, ML, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting to props and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Silly read.
I know the wording of it is just.
You actually warned me about it last week. You did.
Yeah.
Use our promo code BLEAV50 BLEAV50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. My disc is not almost full. Hush you. Thank you.
It most definitely probably is almost full. So that means
we're doing fine.
Okay.
We're doing fine over here. Hey,
you think the computer's lying to you? Do you think that's something that the computer is? Because
I've had this computer for 6.5 years. I know what this computer does.
Do you know what the disk is? Do you know what that means?
I'm familiar with the disk.
What does it mean when that message pops up?
That means that your hard drive space is getting close to being full, and that means that your computer will shut down on its own and create a lot of problems because it's done so before.
Which I know, I know that you've done that before. I have done the opposite, where in a panic state have deleted files and then deleted very important video files for certain NBA players and their episodes and their recordings.
Have you ever had to try and remake production by ear?
Oh,
because you deleted a production session that was somehow linked to a different session?
I have had to play off that the board wasn't working and that we have to use the really scratchy camera microphone.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Believe in Audio Nerd podcast.
Right, it's the Producers Podcast. I saw Cam Rogers appeared on a Producers Podcast for Barrett Sports Media. Has to be one of the worst concepts I've ever seen in my life to do a Producers Podcast, but that's just a
Here's the thing,
separate
though.
issue.
Here's the thing. I think it would be interesting for you and me to link up with Ben Avery from Tim Dillon's show, talking about let's link up with Jamie from Joe Rogan's show. Let's just pick some brains. Let's have a producer summit.
A summit is one thing,
but here's the thing with producers: it all has to be taped and recorded, anyways. So
right. Who's the producer? I think the summit's fine. No, the
summit is fine.
Most producers are too dry.
We'll
Any
host
good
a type
producer
of Olympics to see who gets to set up the equipment and who gets to host.
Who can open Pro Tools without crashing your computer? All right, we're boring the hell out of our listeners. A show that was once called entertaining but devoid of content.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Sound
Facebook.
like two producers are doing this show.
But we're not. We're two idiots. We're two former football players. We're also two idiots that are about to talk about our former team. We have to start with, though, Sean, Southern Illinois, number 9 Southern Illinois is traveling to Incarnate Word to face Incarnate Word. Now, Incarnate Word's Ward is no longer there. Cam Ward is now at Washington State. So this game becomes a lot easier to actually predict. I was going to say interesting, but frankly, Sean, this game is not interesting at all. Southern Illinois returns after making it to the playoffs. Nick Baker returns. Avante Cox returns. His brother Dante Cox returns. You got the two brothers. I love the rhyming with the names. It's one of my favorite things. They apparently have only played together in one game. Now they get the opportunity to do it yet again. They are also returning Javon Williams Jr. This is a team, Sean, Southern Illinois, that is loaded. And they are coming back reloaded. They didn't lose hardly anybody. And guess what? Incarnate Word lost everything. They lost their entire coaching staff, most of their coaching staff. They have a new
Then why are they ranked, Joe?
I got no goddamn idea. And most importantly, they lost the best quarterback in college football. Why are they ranked? Why are they ranked? This game shouldn't even be on the list. I just wanted to keep them on there to yell. And
well, that's why I put them on there. That's why I put them on there, because this is an interesting week 1 situation where we know the outcome. And if we don't, we still know it's going to be fraudulent. And if it's not, then it's going to be, Joe, the biggest egg that we've had on our faces. If Incarnate Word stays ranked the entire year, what does that make us besides hacks? Could we get more?
No.
Joe, I know.
We can't. We're not.
It won't happen. But Joe, I put this on here because it's not a coming out party for Incarnate Word. It's a see you later. That's why I got it here, because they're ranked. We don't think they should be ranked that high. It's a see you later game. Now, Southern Illinois, they need to do their bit. They need to go out there. They need to win the game. They need to play hard football, which they can. But this has a lot of implication for us also, because we've taken some stances about this Incarnate Word team. We have to kind of be right about this one. This is a make or break game moment for me and Joe.
Yes. Wait, make or break?
It's make or break for me.
Wait, why is it make or break? I don't understand.
Because if they beat SIU without Cameron Ward and the everything that they lost, that's make or break.
Okay.
It's make or break, Joe.
That's make or break for them. So just for those wondering who the hell Incarnate Word even has, they do return Taylor Grimes, who was one of the best receivers in FCS last year. Is he still good without Cam Ward throwing him the football? That remains to be seen. He's got a lot to prove. The quarterback situation's really weird, though. It's Lindsey Scott, who comes from Nichols, who is a 7th-year senior, which shut the hell up.
Sorry. He too will laugh at that.
We need a drop for that. We need a drop for that. He's a 7th-year senior. He's coming from multiple other programs. I think I saw that he played at like LSU and Missouri at one point. There's this weird trend of these 7th-year guys popping up on FCS rosters, but man, if you're on your 7th year, dude, I know that you're 28. And I get that you have the experience, but I don't. If you're still sticking around after so long, I don't know what you're going to prove to us.
It's a little tough. I think you just kind of want to keep on playing the game, which I understand. I did not do that. I was out about as soon as I could be out. But
you had an extra year over me, and you didn't stay.
That's right. Why would I? No, I am.
Wait. Serious question. I don't mean to distract distract this. Would you rather do another board drill, have the opportunity to do more board drills, or be, in the workforce now and have to work 8 hours a day?
Okay, board drills are awful. I will go out to the supermarket and say I could beat you in a board drill. I could beat you in a board drill. You've never done a board drill. I could beat you, my co-host. I could beat him in a board drill.
Obviously.
I don't miss doing them, though. I don't miss doing them. I don't want to do them. I like doing what I do right now. Talk to me in 2 years. I'll probably be missing it. But right now,
you're still not at the missing it stage. I miss it.
All I miss is the locker room. That's all I miss.
Yeah.
I miss the locker room. I miss the O-line room. For that, there's a pure 5 minutes when you're walking from the meeting room to the O-line room. You have about 2 minutes where everyone's getting settled in, where it's just the best because you're like, okay, all right, we got to go watch film. We just got out of the meeting. Everyone's kind of BSing with each other. It's just that's what it's about for me. That's what it was about. Clanging and banging is fun. There's tough outlets to find in the real world for it. But board drills, I'm good without as of right now.
I'd really like for you in the supermarket to just line up with somebody, like just no comment, no heads up, just line up, board drill.
I'd like to take a camera with me and just point out who I think I could beat.
You should walk walk really close to people and be like, "Oh, I could beat you in a board drill."
Yeah, got you.
I could beat you in a board drill. And
no shot.
Looking up confused.
Some UVA at the end walks in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a little tough. There's some folks in my gym. There's some folks in my gym. I know have never played college football. Maybe never even played high school football. I'm looking at them like, oh, this is gonna be a tough matchup here. I gotta get low.
Yeah, they probably don't have any. They're probably strong, but they don't have any pop. They don't. They don't have the football player pop.
All right. What game are we talking about? Oh yeah,
Incarnate Word, Southern Illinois. Sean, here's the only issue with this game. I'm a man of principle. Okay,
are you?
And do you remember? I am. I stand by my principles. My principles are convoluted.
Joe's a man of his principles.
I'm a man of my principles. My principles are convoluted, and some would argue unethical. But if you remember, Sean, do you remember what happened over the summer with Southern Illinois?
Oh, I am trying to recall.
I was stood up by Southern Illinois head coach Nick Hill.
Oh, good Lord. Here we go.
A taping. And as much as I think they're going to come in and stomp Incarnate Word, I can't back Southern Illinois this season. I just can't. I am a man of principle. I did all I did my prep. I did everything. I did all the coordination to set up the interview, everything. And I was stood up.
Okay. That happens. That can happen at times. Was there a response? Like, hey, there was an emergency?
I don't have one. Let me pull up the email.
Go ahead. Make sure that he didn't say, hey, mom was in the hospital. Make sure he didn't say, oh, sorry, emergency meeting came up. Just pull it up and make sure.
Last email sent. Perfect. Thank you, Coach. Here's a link to join next Tuesday, the 31st at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's 10 a.m. his time. I directly coordinated with him, which doesn't happen. Wasn't there the
That makes me root for Southern Illinois harder.
You're a piece of crap. All right, let's move on to the next game.
Let's go to Luke's.
University of Rhode Island is on the ferry right now, from what I've seen, and they're playing against Stony Brook. Rhode Island, the notable part is that they're a ranked team. Stony Brook has always been one of those programs that is on the cusp of being ranked. I think that this might be one of the weakest rosters that they've had in the CAA. They haven't been getting a lot of love in the preseason polls, but nonetheless, this is an important game for the University of Rhode Island. There are other important in-conference matchups across the country, but based on our connection to the school, this is getting a lot of attention from us because of the implications here.
There's also not that many big time. A lot of ranked teams are playing other FBS teams and other schools. This was a game that I said, okay, well, just from personal experience alone, I know how hard this game is going to be for both teams, and how it's going to come down to the wire, and how it's going to be this and that. So, and then looking through the matchups this week, there were some that were like, okay, cool. I mean, Monmouth, UNH, All right, maybe. There are other Big Sky didn't have much going on. Missouri Valley didn't have much going on. So I'm like, all right, Big South didn't have a lot going on. All right, okay. Let's talk about Rhode Island and Stony Brook. And then that seemed like a pretty fitting matchup because it's just Stony Brook doesn't seem like a good week 1 opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to play Stony Brook week 1. But at the same time, we always played them in October. So maybe that hurt us even more. So look, it's they need to win the game, Joe. They need to win this one or else it's over.
And I got to point out that stupid ferry sucks. The trip there sucks. Long Island sucks. I hope Rhode Island.
Yeah, Strong Island is not great to get to.
I wanted to go to Stony Brook, and we talked about how I might not have fit in there. But I hope Rhode Island smacks them. I think Kasim Hill is in a talk about a 7th-year quarterback is in a position to have a really good season this year. And I love all those weapons and offensive linemen that URI is returning. Like outside of Nunez, Stony Brook's offensive lineman who's receiving national award recognition, I don't know who's really even that good on that story.
Here's the thing with Stony Brook, man. Their offensive linemen line up, I don't know, 2 inches apart from each other. So it's just a wall. It's strictly a wall. There's no gaps. There's none of it. You're playing shoulder to shoulder, ass to ass next to your defensive lineman. And then on the scout team, whenever we used to prep for Stony Brook, I'm sitting here like, how do these guys do it? How are they this close to each other and then still moving people? And they found a way. They have that tight combo. I don't think they ever bring in super athletic offensive linemen. They had a tackle a little bit ago. Paris. They had a left tackle that was pretty good a while ago. But other than that, they did not have many offensive linemen that were that athletic. So they bunch them up real tight, and it's harder to it's harder to get through it for a defensive lineman. So that
Paris Jackson.
It might have been Paris Jackson.
No. It was a defensive back. I love when we do this where we forget guys' names and then we try to remember them.
I'll find it. You talk. I'll find it.
I know where to search. Timon Paris. Oh, Timon Paris. He transferred, I want to say. There was also Stony Brook's had a couple guys that have yeah, he's in the NFL right now. There's Stony Brook had another guy who I'm blanking on where he was, but he transferred to a good FBS program.
Was it Delpit? Did he get picked up by Delpit got picked up by the Seahawks, their safety.
I don't know. It wasn't.
Grant Delpit was really good.
No, it's not Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit was an LSU from a safety from LSU. We gotta stop playing the name game.
Okay, no more name game.
We had a really strong show, and we're just slowly let's sound as stupid as we can and show how little we know about these teams. Just keep unraveling the rope. That's a concept for a show. Just
play the game and see who is able to acknowledge the wrong first.
Well, I was going to say do a podcast with no notes or preparation and then just ramble for 45 minutes.
Sure, people like that. Why not?
But you make a really good point. Stony Brook has, despite maybe not having a really talented roster at key positions, they always put out some tough dudes. Like they always put out dudes that are going to line up and smack you. And I used to hate trying to cover punts against them. Like they're mean.
It's a mean team. Joe, I am the worst. Gavin Heslop.
Oh, no, I know Gavin. He trained with.
I am the worst. I got him multiple times. I've gotten him and Grant Delpit confused because something with the G first name.
And they're also tall.
Yeah. I am the worst.
He's not on the Seahawks anymore.
Before a listener crushes me, just understand I am acknowledging the hack is level 1,000.
Yeah, Gavin did his pro day prep with Murph and Janetti and Malik and all those guys. He was at Test. So Gavin's a good guy. Sean, there's also a couple other games though that are notable this weekend that are worth acknowledging. The first one being Florida A&M versus Jackson State, and we're still kind of watching from a distance as things are developing with that Florida A&M situation. Had that not happened, this would have been a really important game for both of these teams' seasons. And this is the first test of the season right off the bat for Jackson State to really prove themselves. I'll tell you what, though, this is on a Sunday, and I'm going to be watching it because I want to see what Travis Hunter does. This is just a great way to start the season, getting these teams matching up with each other, minus the drama from the Rattlers.
It's not even the drama from the Rattlers; it's also the drama from the city of Jackson. And then So we're getting not great stuff outside of football happening to these teams, but it's good that the teams can rally at least for 4 hours and maybe makes people happy. So it just do your best out there, FAMU and Jackson State. We know what you got. So people are going to be tuning in. I'm excited for this matchup for sure.
The other one, South Dakota State at Iowa. So there's a couple of games out there this weekend that are capable of being brought up as potential upsets. Sam Herder did a really good article on it detailing the 5 that are on upset watch. I think the most likely, or no, this is throughout the month of September. My apologies, not the first month or the first week. The first one, though, that I think could really set the tone on like an angry tone.
This would be a sexy upset.
South Dakota State playing at Iowa, who made Colorado State look silly. And we saw what North Dakota State did when they played Iowa a couple years ago, man.
What are they doing, man? Why are you doing this to yourself, Iowa?
Right. Don't get you ready.
Who is it? Kirk Ferentz is the coach there.
Yeah.
You better get him fired up. Kirk, or else they're going to come out and get smacked in the mouth because they are ready.
I want this to become the norm for Power 5 recognizable Power 5 programs like Iowa, like Michigan, like Alabama, LSU. I want it to be the norm to face the big dogs. I'm tired of watching Alabama play Austin P. I don't want to see that, or Lamar. I don't want to see that crap. I want these teams, if you really want to get yourself ready, like that's the whole premise of playing these FCS opponents. If you really want to get yourself ready, schedule South Dakota State, schedule Montana. I want it too. Here's the thing. Some coaches are making sure their teams are ready. Did you see that Jimbo clip talking about Sam Houston? Yeah.
I know we're not covering Sam Houston, but yes. Jimbo is going to make sure his team is ready. Because I have no loyalty to Sam Houston State, but they're in the FCS recently, so there's still a little bit of wear on me. He is getting his team buckled up and ready for that team. He knows the players, he knows the coaches, he knows their record over the last couple of years. That is a guy that is locked in.
The thing I like about Jimbo is he has acknowledged, and there's a couple quotes of him over the past couple of weeks saying, I came from the FCS level coaching. Like I've been there. A lot of guys in the coaching staff and across the country have coached at the FCS level or played at the FCS level at some point. A disturbing amount. I bet you could find more FCS players than FBS players that are currently now head coaches in college football. I'd love to do a study on that. But he has acknowledged the quality of a program that Sam Houston is, and that's what I want. Like I want those to be the matchups. I want those types of games.
That's what you need. And that's what we got. So I mean, keep your eyes peeled for the big FCS matchups, but also, hey, why don't you tune into some of the FCS FBS because it's week 1. I'm fired up. But what else am I getting fired up for? NFL hasn't started yet.
Yeah. I hope this is our Montana-Washington game this year, but we shall see. FC Estimates, your favorite FCS, football pick'em segment. I don't know what just happened there. I just lost my voice.
Here, I'll take it over for you. Don't worry.
No, shut the hell up.
I'll take over.
Shut the hell up.
You rest your voice over there, buddy.
Shut the hell up.
Pal, rest your voice.
Shut the hell up.
I got it.
FC
Estimates last week.
FC Estimates last week. Sean, this is my segment. This
is your segment?
This is my no, I'm just kidding.
This is my segment, Nurse Ratchet. I botched it. I stink on ice. Stumble over. Awesome reference.
I honestly think the reason why I'm choking is because this thing is just evaporating. The cover to it's just evaporating into my mouth.
All right. Hey, Joe DeLeone Lick. Let's get on with the FC Estimates. That's another great reference. I bet Brendan and Chad get it. I bet they're the only ones. Last
week, Sean cheated, and he picked the fake FCS team.
No movies
against. I'm just ignore your reference. He picked the non-FCS team to beat the FCS team because he's a a bitch, and he decided to do
Whoa,
that.
First of all, why'd you put the game in there then? Huh? You thought we were both going to ride with Stephen F. Austin?
We had to pick the game, and he's up on me. So the current standing.
Go ahead.
The current standings are 1-3 to 2-3, and he wrote in the doc, "We are no expletives here. Big fat fucking winner, huge fucking winner," is what he wrote down. You're up by one.
Right, I did.
You're up by one pick, brother. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, pal. A win's a win every week. If you seem to if you luck your way into a win this week, which you always do, if you luck your way into a win, you just trip over your feet, fall into a win. Okay, that could happen.
I'm not going to fall myself into a win.
It could possibly happen. You're going to be in here celebrating. What happened after week 1? Okay,
who was 3-1 on their college football bets last weekend? Who's going to be in the green again?
Keep that same energy. Someone knows college football and someone doesn't, and that's reflected by the numbers.
First of all, that's just not true.
2-3.
You were too scared to show up for the stream yesterday, so I don't want to hear that.
I should have it 2-1 and 1 or whatever.
You're 2 for 3. I'm 1 for 3. Is that the
format we used?
It is not, but that's actually a much easier, more readable,
is,
calculable. I prefer it that way.
Well, I have a positive record, and you have a non-positive record or a negative record.
After 1 week with
3
games.
If we're going to debate who's okay,
first game,
sure,
the Citadel at Campbell. Who do you got?
I'm taking the sit week 1.
Sean, noted Campbell hater. Do not welcome him to Bowie's.
Whoa!
Creek.
I want to go to Bowie's Creek. We're gonna have a good time in Bowie's Creek. It's gonna be a fun time.
I want Sean to be attacked the minute that we step on campus.
There's no reason for that.
Remember who is the supporter of Campbell? It is me, not Sean. Okay, so I picked Campbell. I want the boys. Give me the boys.
The boys are the boys. That's at the Citadel. All right, by the way.
Okay.
We'll see how Campbell goes.
You have a fake bias because of the FCS the FCS radio guys.
Well, who doesn't? We learned a great story about them, and I'm excited that we can't say no. We will not. We learned a great story about how awesome they are and how they're kind of our heroes. So this is how we're gonna leave it. So I have a lot of admiration for them.
Monmouth at UNH.
I'm taking UNH.
Not Monmouth. Give me Monmouth. URI at Stony Brook.
You did not do a not joke here.
Not URI at Stony Brook.
I am. Come on, boys. I'm taking URI. I'm taking
good. I'm glad that you're off that bit where you're like, oh, if I pick against them, then I still win. And
they better win. If they don't, they're not getting another pick from me all year.
Okay. Missouri State at Central Arkansas.
I'll take Missouri State to beat UCA.
Yeah, no brainer. Give me Missouri State. Wofford at Chattanooga.
Give me the chat.
Give me the chat. Southern Illinois at Incarnate Word.
I'm riding with the Salukes, baby. I'm sorry. Southern Illinois till I die.
Don't apologize.
I don't want to go to Chicago. I don't want to go to anywhere up there, up north. I don't want to see a White Sox game or a Cubs game. I'm going to stay in Southern Illinois.
Southern. Was that intentional?
No.
It's a long
Who
day
are you
for
picking?
Sean. I wish Coach Nick Hill showed up for our interview because I would have picked them in this game. But I am a man of flawed principles, and I'm picking Incarnate Word. Please, for the love of God, just please come through, boys, even though I just bashed you for the first 5 minutes of the show. Give me Incarnate Word. Jackson State at FAMU.
I am taking Jackson State to win this. Coach Prime's going to have the boys ready.
Yeah. Jackson State. All right. I think it's good enough to wrap us up on. Sean, anything?
I'm going to go eat dinner. I think I'm going to get a quarter chicken, and that also comes with a little sausage, and that comes with a piece of carne asada at the bottom. Rice and beans and yuca fries. That's how we're rolling tonight.
That is, how much does that cost you?
That is a $16 meal.
That's infuriating. That's like $28 in Los Angeles.
It's I normally get a drink, so it's around $18, but after tax.
That's still $28. A quarter chicken sausage with carne asada,
a quarter chicken
and rice.
A beautiful hot link. The Peruvian sausage or whatever they got going on, and then a nice little, not huge, 8-ounce strip of carne asada, rice and beans in one of the portions, stacked to the brim, and then yuca fries in the other portion, stacked to the brim.
I need to get a job on the East Coast. I need to get a goddamn job on the East Coast.
It is, Joe. I have this. This place is, I will say, from my front door, in my arm strength, it is, with a good roll, 6 baseball throws away. I have a very mean maybe
point to make.
4 with a good roll.
I have a very mean point to make. I think if you were in a city that was less drivable and less good food options, I think you'd lose a lot of weight.
You think I'm not driving?
You would sit in like say you're in like New York City and you had your car.
Sure.
And you couldn't actually, that's not a good example because you just walk down the street from an apartment and there's amazing food.
Yeah.
I don't have that here.
Oh.
I have to walk 40 minutes or get in the car.
Boo-hoo. You do. What do you have over by you? Is that a beach?
Okay, I can't. I can walk to the beach. That's actually not fair of me to whatever. All right. At Joe DeLeone at Sanderson Radio. I hate Los Angeles.
Humble Eats, Hack City on YouTube.
What?
Humble Eats is what I'm about to go get, and I plugged our YouTube channel.
All right. Drive safe, everybody. Except for Sean.